Thank you for welcoming Father Dennis last week, the priest from Cameroon, here on the annual mission appeal. Today, I know it's hot, but we're just going to give a couple minutes of our time to a homegrown missionary, not off in some distant country, but rather on some of the mission field here right in our own country, the college campus, the university campus. So please be seated for a moment and let's give our attention to Kaler.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for giving me just a few more minutes of your time this morning to share with you a little bit about my experience on mission. For those who do not know me, my name's Kaler. I'm from Hull, and I graduated from UMass Amherst in 2020 and have been serving full-time as a missionary on college campuses for the past 2 years through an organization called Focus. And so the past 2 years I've been placed at the University of Connecticut in Storrs, and I'm currently preparing for my new placement as the team director at NYU in Manhattan. So I'll start there on August 1st, next week. Working for Focus has been one of the greatest joys of my life. We get to accompany college students in all different places in their faith journey towards deeper relationship with Jesus. In the past 2 years, our team has gotten to know students in all different places. Some come from strong Catholic families, others who have fallen away from their faith, some students who were raised in a different faith, and even some who are atheist. And I've learned in the past 2 years, working with these students, that no matter where they're at in their faith journey, everyone has at least one thing in common. We all want to be loved. And I've also learned that for many young people, there's a real shortage of true and authentic love. I think Mother Teresa puts it well when she says this: "The greatest disease in the West today is not TB or leprosy. It is being unwanted, unloved, and uncared for. We can cure physical diseases with medicine, but the only cure for loneliness, despair, and hopelessness is love." She says there are many in the world who are dying for a piece of bread, but there are many more dying for a little love. The poverty in the West is a different kind of poverty. It is not only a poverty of loneliness, but also of spirituality. She says that there's a hunger for love as there is a hunger for God. As missionaries sent onto college campuses, we're sent to proclaim the gospel of love. We're sent to proclaim the gospel that says that Jesus has not left us orphaned and he has not abandoned us, but he has gone to the Father, and he will come back again to take us to himself. We're sent to share the gospel that reveals God's heart for us, as he proclaims in Isaiah, "I give Egypt as your ransom, Ethiopia and Seba in return for you, because you are precious in my eyes and glorious, and because I love you." It is upon hearing this message of love that I have seen college students turn their hearts back to God, back to the God who knows them and loves them and cares for them. I've spent the past 2 years working with one student in particular who I met when she was a freshman, and she showed up to my Bible study one week. And I could tell pretty quickly that this student was struggling a little bit, and she wasn't exactly sure what to make of God or the church. And I got to spend the next 2 years walking with this student in my Bible study and taking her out to lunch on campus every now and then. But the majority of the time, she actually didn't respond to many invitations, and she didn't show up to much else. And perhaps from the outside, mission with this one particular student could have seemed like a failure. She still wasn't coming to Mass. and she hadn't proclaimed any big life changes since I had met her. But the day that I had to tell her I was leaving to move to a different campus, this student began to cry. And as I talked with her, she shared with me this. She said, "Kaler, you always notice when I don't show up, and you care enough to keep inviting me." She said, "When you leave, who is going to care?" In my last week on campus, as I was saying goodbye to this student, I told her that if she ever needed anything, the chapel was always open, that Jesus is present there, and that he cares. And she looked at me after 2 years, and she said, "Where is that?" And I walked her into the chapel at UConn for the first time ever that day, and she stayed to pray with Jesus as I left to go home. This is one of my favorite stories from Mission the past 2 years. I love this story because it reminds me what Mission is all about. God has not left us orphaned. He has not abandoned us, and it is his gospel of love that will turn hearts back toward him. It's moments like these that fill my days as a missionary, and so I just wanted to take this moment to thank all of you sincerely, to the people of this parish, and to those of you who support me on mission. This work is only possible because of you, and so please be assured of my deep gratitude. I will be out in the gathering space after Mass with some pictures and stories from my time at UConn, if you'd like to stop by and check out those pictures. And as I prepare to move to New York City next week, I ask that you please pray for my team and for the students that will meet there. I'm so excited to see what wonderful things God has planned. And lastly, as I prepare to move to the city, I'm also in need of increasing my financial support. So if you're interested in hearing more about Focus or in supporting me on mission through monthly giving, please come and share your contact info with me after Mass. I would love to talk more with you. Thank you again, and may God bless you with his peace and with his joy.